Hello class 9 children, good morning, welcome back to your online class. Today is Wednesday and as per the routine you have English literature or English paper 2 to continue. If you remember, in our last online class we discussed about the background of the play The Merchant of Venice, written by William Shakespeare. We also talked about the characters in the play, and we also talked about the themes of the play, and we also discussed about the setting of the play The Merchant of Venice. Hope you understood what discussion we had on that day, and you were also uh, instructed to write the character list in your exercise note. Hope you have done that. So today let us enter into the play The Merchant of Venice and see what happens in the beginning of the play The Merchant of Venice, right? So as I told you that Act 1 has 3 scenes, Act 2 has 9 scenes, and Act 3 up to scene 1, right, will be our syllabus to complete in this session. So hope we will be able to do it as soon as possible, and then we have to catch one more poem, one more okay story, and that will end our syllabus for the session 2021. So let us get ready now to see what is the story of The Merchant of Venice. So The Merchant of Venice, as the title is given here for the play The Merchant of Venice, it refers to Antonio, as we discussed that day. Antonio is the main character in the play. He is the protagonist. That's why the play is named after him, right? So hope you have also pronounced all those characters yourself, because if you pronounce it well, so you write the exact spelling given in a textbook. And I told you that if you write the incorrect spelling of the characters, you'll be penalized very badly by the council, right? So learn the character's name by heart, right? That's what you're gonna do, right? So as far as the themes of the play is concerned, the most important themes are friendship and loyalty and love. This is what we discussed, right? In addition to other themes we have in the play, right? And it is a romantic comedy, right? So here we begin. Act 1, scene 1, right? So Act 1, Scene 1 takes place on a Venetian street, right? We are in Venice, a beautiful city in Italy, right? It is an existing place, as I told you, right? There are 2 settings in the play. One is Venice, the other is Belmont, right? Belmont is a fictitious town of William Shakespeare. It doesn't exist in the world map, right? It is a thought place of William Shakespeare. So anyways, okay, let's come back here. So Act 1, Scene 1 takes place on a street in Venice, right? So whenever we are in Venice, the scenes do take place on a street, right? And we see the 2 friends enter in the scene. The 2 friends are Salarino and Salanio, right? As I told you, Salarino, right, is the other name of Salario, right? Please don't get confused in this, right? So Salarino and Salario, right, are the names of one man, right? So in some books it's given okay Salario, in some other books is given Salarino, but we'll treat these 2 names as one person, right? And the other person is Salanio, right? And what is the importance of these 2 characters, right? We always see these 2 friends coming together in the scene, right? Salarino and Salanio. And whenever they do get entry in the scene, we get latest informations from them. We get latest news, what is happening in Venice, right? From them. So that is their importance in the play. They are the news bringers, we can say, right? Okay, so let's begin here. So we are on a Venetian street, and we see the 2 friends Antonio, right, is also in the scene, and the 2 common friends Salarino and Salanio in the scene. Okay, So in the opening of the scene, right, Act 1, Scene 1, we will see Antonio a very, very melancholic man, right? Melancholic means sad, right? He's gloomy, right? He's very sad on some reasons, but we don't know what has made Antonio so sad, right? And seeing the sad face of Antonio's, the other two friends, Salarino and Salanio, they just try to guess, right? What could be the reason of Antonio's sadness? So they try to share their opinions with Antonio, right? So that is what is told in the opening part of the play, The Merchant of Venice, written by William Shakespeare, right? So see, so Antonio says, so mind you, there are difficult words. They are all Elizabethan words written by William Shakespeare during the Elizabethan time. So whenever I do explain the words, right, and the sentence, it's better if you are listening it carefully, jot them down in a textbook with pencil, so that when you sit to revise, you can get the simple meaning of those words, and that will make you easy to understand what the line is telling you, right? So see, so Antonio says, right, in sooth, I know not why I'm so sad, right? So Antonio begins, right, now saying to his two friends, right, in sooth means truly, honestly, right? So I don't know why I'm sad, Antonio is telling. Okay, so I don't know the reason why I'm sad. I'm sad, right? Of course I'm sad, but I don't know the reason why I'm sad. He tells, it worries me. You say it worries you, and it makes me tired. This sadness has made me tired. And looking at me, who am tired, right? You are also tired, right? You are also depressed. Here Antonio says to the two other friends, Salarino and Salanio, right? So looking me tired, right? You also are, okay, seem tired. Of course, okay, that will happen, right? If you are the dear friends of the other fellow, right? So when your friend is sad, you try to know the reason, and you also express the sadness right now with your friend. So that's so happen here when Antonio tells his two other friends. Okay, then see. But how I caught it, found it, or came by it, what stuff it is made of, whereof it is born, I am to learn. So he says, right? But how I caught it, that means where did I find this sadness? Right? I don't know. Right? From where has this sadness come to me that I am not known? He says, found it. Where did I find it? That also I don't know. Right? Or came by it. Or where did I come across this sadness? That also I don't know. Right? So what stuff it is made of? That means, right? What this sadness consists of? Right? That also I don't know. Right? Whereof it is born? So what is the origin of this sadness? What is the beginning of this sadness? That also I don't know. I am to learn. So he says, I'm yet to learn. I'm yet to find out. Right? Antonio tells. So he knows that he is sad, but he doesn't know the reason why he is sad. Right? And such a one wit sadness makes of me that I have much ado to know myself. And he says, and such a one wit sadness makes of me. That means this sadness has made me completely absent-minded. Right? This sadness has completely made me forgetful. Right? That I myself don't know who am I. Right? Okay, so this is what here Antonio says, the sadness has completely eaten him up, right? In which he himself says that he doesn't know who he is, right? He's completely forgetful, he's completely absent-minded, right? He tells this to his two friends, Salarino and Salanio. Perhaps the two friends ask Antonio meeting him, right? Oh, friend Antonio, right? Why are you sad, right? So to their question, here Antonio replies. So what did he reply? He said that he is sad, no doubt, but he doesn't know the reason of his sadness. Where did it begin? Where did he come across? Where did he come across? Where did he find it? Right? What is the origin of this sadness? Right? He is yet to learn. He says he is yet to find it out. Right? And the sadness has made me completely absent-minded. The sadness has completely made me forgetful. Right? That I myself don't know who am I. He tells. Okay. Now, listening to this, Salarino then gives his reason, his personal opinion, right? A possible reason he tells. What he says, see, your mind is tossing on the sea. That means your mind is right now at the sea, right? So where is your mind, Antonio? Your mind is not here. Your mind is at the sea now, right? It is okay here, flying in the sea, right? Then see, there where your Argus is with Portly Cell. So there with the Argosies means large merchant ships, right? They are the large merchant ships. Okay, so where your argosies with portly sail. Portly means stately, right? Since they are the large ships, right? So they sail in the sea, they sail in the ocean proudly, in a very stately manner, right? Like Cygnus, and these argosies are like Cygnus. That means they are like great lords. Cygnus are great lords, right? And rich buggers on the flood. And they are like the wealthy citizens. Rich buggers are the wealthy citizens. Those citizens who have enough of money, right? They are multimillionaires, right? Living in the country. Okay, so your argosies are sailing. They look like, right, great lords. They look like wealthy citizens. Okay, or as it were the peasants of the sea, or as it were, right, in the magnificent procession of a sea. Peasant of the sea means magnificent procession in the sea, like when all the ships do sail together, right, line wise, it looks like a procession, and it looks magnificent, beautiful, right? That's what Salarino says. So do overpeer the petty traffickers, and do overpeer, right? Overpeer means overpass, surpass, cross, right? All those who get traffic, all these petty traffickers, that means all those small boats that are selling in the sea, right? So these argosies, the large merchant ships, they are sailing in a stately manner, right, looking like great lords and wealthy citizens, right, over passing, right, crossing those, okay, small boats, okay, that courtesy to them, right, do them reverence. And these small boats, what do? They, okay, bow their head, right, showing their politeness. Courtesy means politeness, right, and showing their reverence. Reverence means great respect, deep respect shown to these large merchant ships, okay, as they fly by them with their woven wings. So as they surpass, fly means surpass, as they cross, right, these large, okay, ships do cross, right, with their woven wings, with their canvas cells attached, right, to them, right. So woven wings are those canvas cells, big cloths, right, that are called cells, right, which appear like wings. Okay, so this is what here Salarino say, right. So you saw here, okay, what did, okay, Salarino reason out to Antonio's sadness. So he tells here that most probably your sadness is because your mind is not out here, right? Your mind is in the sea. Since you are a businessman, you are a merchant in Venice, so you have many ships being sent out to different countries so as to get the goods to Venice, right? So as long as your ships are out, right, so your mind will not be at peace, right, you won't be happy, right. So that may be the possible reason, right, of your sadness, that your mind is at the sea, not here, right, where large merchant ships are sailing, right, in a stately manner, right, just like great lords and wealthy citizens, where all the small boats, right, which these large merchant ships do pass by, right, these small boats look up, right, and pay tribute, show their respect, politeness, right, to let them go, right. Here, okay, Salarino says this, okay. So he gave his personal opinion to, okay, Antonio, right. That may be the reason of your sadness, oh Antonio, my dear friend, right. Now what did Salanio say, right? Now Salanio says, see, believe me, sir, had I such venture for, right. Now Salanio also gives the possible reason of Antonio's sadness, right. So what did he say? He says, believe me, sir, right, trust me, sir, right, have faith on me, sir, had I such venture for, that means if I had the business of my own, right, venture for means, right, my own business, right, now operations, right, where, okay, I have sent my ships abroad, right, to a foreign country, okay. So if I had sent my boats, or sent my ships, argosies, right, abroad, right, had I been a business, right, then see, the better part of my affections would be with my hopes abroad. So the better part means greater part, maximum part, right, of my affection means feelings, right, the greater part of my feelings would be mixed with what, my hope, right, where, outside my country, right, in the foreign land, where, okay, I have sent my ship, right, to get the things, to get uh, the goods, articles, commodities, right, in the ship back to my country, right? I should be still plucking the grass, right? So had I been a business, right, man of my own, right, and I have sent my ships out, right, to abroad, to foreign countries, right, to get the goods, okay, right, as long as the ships are back, right, I would have been restless, I would have been worried, right? And what would I have done, right? I would be still plucking the grass. That means I would be right now always plucking the grass, right? And doing what? See, to know where is the wind, right? And I would have lifted the plucked grass in my fingers, right? And then okay, release the grass, right? So as to check the wind velocity, right? So to what speed the wind is moving, right? To what direction the wind is moving, right? So as to find out whether my ships would be back home safely or not, right? I would have checked the wind velocity, right? Here Solanio says, right? So peering in maps purport, and I would have been looking carefully the map where okay I would have located where the ports are, right, where the harbors are, right. So piers are the harbors where the ships do come and take rest, right. So I would have been checking in the world map, right, the route right now from where my ships are coming from the foreign country to my country, right, where these ships would have taken rest, right, on the way back to my country, right. So I would have been right looking carefully into the maps, right, finding out where the harbors are, where the right ports are, right, where my ships would have come and taken shelter, right, and okay routes, and I would have also checked where the right now where the okay channels are, right. Okay, so to know where the ships do okay take a route to come to my country back home, right. So till then okay I would not have been right a happy man, right. So see, and every object that might make me fear, and every object, everything, right, that might make me fear, that might make me frightened, right, misfortune to my ventures, right, a bad luck to my right now to my okay clear danger. Ventures here means business dangers that may uh, be on the way back home, right, out of doubt would make me sad. So without any doubt, right, would make me very sad. Okay, so here Salanio also gave his reason of Antonio's sadness, right. He tells here that Antonio is sad because of his business, right now that he is a businessman, he has sent his ships out, right, and right, Salanio says had he himself been a businessman, right, and had sent his ships out, right, to buy, purchase, right, the goods and commodities from the different countries in the world, right, to be brought to his country Venice, right, uh, to sell, right, with profit, right now. So until and unless his ships are okay back home, he would have been very much restless. He would have been very worried. So he would have checked in the maps where the ports are, where the harbors are, where the channels are, right? And he would be relaxed. He would be happy when he would see his ships coming back home safely, right? Till then, right? He would be a worried man, right? He would be a melancholic man. He would be a sad person, right. Here okay Salanio says, so both of the friends are referring to the same, that Antonio is sad because of his business, right. Okay, so now what did Saladino say? Now Saladino says here, look at here, my wind cooling my broth would blow me to an ague, right. Now since here Salanio said, right, he would have plucked the blade of grass and would have released from his fingers to check the wind speed, to check the wind velocity, from which direction the wind is blowing and in what speed, right, whether his ships would be safely back home or not, right. So Salarino refers the same. So he says that my wind means my breath that I'm breathing, right. So see, so when I breathe, right, what will happen? Cooling my broth. Broth means soup, the hot soup, be it tomato soup, vegetable soup, right, or a non-veg soup, right. Now see, clear. So when I breathe, right, I will cool the broth. I'll cool the soup. So when a hot soup is served to you in a bowl, right, you directly can't swallow because it is hot. It is still steaming, right? So what you do? You take a spoon, right? You scoop a spoon, right? And then okay, first you blow, right, air into it to get it cool, right? So after 2 3 blows, right, the soup, right, which is okay here scooped in the spoon will get cool, right. So look at the power of the wind, right? The hot soup is made cool by the blowing of the air, right, from your mouth, right? So see, would blow me to an ague, right? So that will, I will blow, okay, with an ague. Ague means here tremble, shake, fever, right? When fever, you shake, you tremble. Likewise, let the hot soup that is cooked in the spoon will shake when you blow it, right? When you give 2 3 blows into it, right, what will happen? The very spoon scooped soup will get cool, and then you put into your mouth and swallow, right? So see, the hot soup is made cool by the force of the wind that you blew into it, right? So this is the power of wind, what wind can do, right? Here Yogesh Saladna says, so when I thought what harm of wind too great as at sea might do, I should see the Sunday hourglass run. So when I'm caught in the difficulty, when I'm sailing the ship, right, in the ocean, right, so what will I do? When the sea is very strong, right, when the sea has become very forceful, right, so I should not see the sandy hourglass run. That means I would not see the time that runs in sand, right? Because in the traditional time you had the uh, no watch, no wristwatch, no wall clock, isn't it? Many of the people depended on the position of the sun, as you know, isn't it? uh, um, Many, okay, also had the two tumblers, glass tumblers filled with the sand, right? And both the containers, okay, are equal in size and shape, right? And when the sand is filled into it, in one of the, okay, beakers, in one of the containers, right, when you keep it up, the sand will all fall into the next container below it, right? And when it completes falling all down into the next container, right, that was considered 1 hour, right? And then again it is turned upside down and the same process continues, right? And it's the next hour when completely the sand falls down into the next beaker or the next container, right? So that was the time calculation of those days, right, when there was no wrist watch and wall clock, right? So what did Salarino say? He says the same thing. See, I should not see the Sunday hourglass run. So what is Sunday hourglass? I told you just now, right? The hour that is calculated of the falling of the sand inside the container from one container to the other container, right? So see, I should not see the Sunday hourglass run, right? So I would not see the dangerous time then, right? What my sole objective would be if the sea gets, right, disturbed, right? If there is wind blowing dangerously in the sea, right? So I'll not see the time then, right? My sole objective is to find the safety, right, where I could land the ship, where I could reach my ship, right, so as to get the safety, okay, I'm in okay position out there against, okay, the deadly sea, right? See, but I should think of shallows, but I should think of shallow water, right, where the water is not very deep, right? And see, and of flats, right? And I would, okay, think of flats. Flats means sandy ground, sandy, okay, banks where I would reach my ship, right, so as to get escape from the dangerous, right, now force of the sea, right, or the wind in the sea, right? Then see, and see my wealthy Andrew docked in sand. Now what is Andrew? Andrew is a name given to large ship, right, to all those large ship in those days, right? So I should say my wealthy. Why wealthy? Because the ship contains a large amount of goods, right, being, okay, purchased from one country and taken to the other country, right, for selling, right, with profits. Okay, so see, and see my wealthy and you docked means here, uh, you can say, uh, uh, grounded to a safety, right? How can I put back my ship to a safe place against this dangerous sea, right? So that will be my sole objective, my main objective, right, other than seeing the time, right? So see, veiling her high tops, right? Veiling means lowering, right? So covering, right? So see, her high tops here means, top is the mast, in the ship, okay, there is a center pole, right, that supports the big hanging cloth. We call it sail, right? And the big pole that supports the sail is called mast, right? Okay, so the adjustment, right, is done by the ship crew, right, depending on the velocity of the winds and the danger in the sea, right, how to adjust the sail, right? Since the sail, the big cloth is the accelerator in the ship, the wind will push this very big cloth, and so the ship, okay, sails right now with the speed, right? Now if this wind is very forceful, right? So this is the training of the ship crew, right, that they will lower this sail, right, so as to remain intact, right, against any danger befalling them. Okay, so see, lower than her ribs, right, and so these cloths are lowered, right, at the side of the ships, right, ribs are the sides of the ships, right. Then see, to kiss her burial, right, to kiss her burial means to kiss the sand, to reach to the land, so as to reach to the land surface, okay, safely, right, when there is any danger in the sea, right, in the water, right, against this dangerous flow of the water or the wind velocity, right. So the sole objective of the ship crew is to take the ship to a safer place where they can find some safety land, right. So see, should I go to church, right, now see, now if I go to church, he says that is one danger in the sea. What happens when there is wind blowing forcefully, right? Okay, so that will bring danger to the ship. Okay, and the ship crew would try to, right, make his ship, right, reach to some piece of land to find the safety. Okay, now another danger you see. Okay, should I go to church? If I go to the church, right, and see the holy edifice of stone, and see the holy edifice, edifice is the building, the church building, which is made of stone, because in those days, right, the churches were made of stones. Okay, so see, so if I go to church and see the building, right, the church building which is made of stone, right, and not bethink me straight of dangerous rock, so when I see this church building made of stone, I would at once get reminded of the big stones in the sea, right. So in the sea also there are big stones which are unseen, unknown by the ship, right, sailing in the sea, right. So these stones may be the stones, right, in the sea, right, they are, okay, the rocks, or else, right, these, okay, are the icebergs, right, the, okay, frozen, right, now snow which is turned into ice, right, they are inside water. Okay, then what happens, see, okay, so and not beating me straight of dangerous rocks which touching but my gentle vessel side, right. Now if I take my ship, right, in that stony place, rocky place, right, which is submerged inside water, right, and the icebergs also submerged inside water, right, if I do take my ship that side, right, so that may hit my side of the ship, right, as it happened in the film Titanic. You might have seen that, right, the iceberg hit the, right, largest ship, right, Titanic, and there was a hole made, right, through which water entered, and finally the water all got filled up in the ship, that made the ship sank, right, in the ocean. Okay, so these are the dangers in the sea, right. So when I see the stones that has made the edifice church, the building of church, right, so that would remind me of the big stones inside the water, right, that are unseen by the okay, ship captain, right, or the ship crew, right, in the sea, right, and when they sail, right, over it, right, so there is a problem caused by the stone or the iceberg in the ship, right. So see, vessel means ship. Then see, would, okay, scatter all her spices on the stream, and since the ship has now hit the stone or the iceberg, right, so the ship will here get wrecked, right, the ship will break into pieces, that will scatter all the goods that are, okay, filled in the sea, right, this is now, right, and that will all get spoiled, many will die. Okay, so see, enrobe the roaring waters with my silk, right, enrobe means cover, the water surface will be covered with all the goods, commodities that have filled this large ship, the Argosy, right. So see, so that will all go in vain, right, that would be all useless, right, that was purchased with heavy amount, right, with the perspective of, okay, selling them in the country and earning profit, right, will all go in vain, it would all be useless, right. And in a word, right, and that means, and in short, in brief, he tells, but even now what this, but at this moment, he says, even now means at this moment, right, what I say is, and now what, nothing, right, and at the very next moment there is nothing, right, just now you had, okay, very large ship carrying, okay, plenty of goods into it, plenty of commodities, articles into it, right, Okay, but when the ship will meet with the problem, right, the ship will get wrecked, right, and within no time there would be nothing. Everything is in a loss, everything will go in vain, right? So it is just the fraction of, right, seconds and minutes, right, that something will turn into disaster, right? So you don't know what happens when you are in a sea, right? Here, okay, Salarino says, okay, right, then see, shall I have the thought to think on this? So should I think this, right, that made you sad, right? Here, okay, he tells Antonio, and I shall, and shall I lack the thought that such a thing by chance would make me sad? So he says, and shall I think, lack means think, right? Shall I think the grief, right now, that such a thing by chance means that the thing has happened or occurred, right, would make me sad. So obviously, right? So if the owner of the ship would get a news that his ship is wrecked in the sea, right, destroyed all the things that have been purchased, right, so naturally, the the businessman will be very very sad. He would be utterly sad, right? Because it's a big loss in the business. Okay. So, but tell me not, right? I know Antonio is sad to think upon is merchandise. Merchandise means the possible of the possible business, you can say possible business. The business is called, okay, merchandise, right? Buying and selling, right? So Salarino says that, right, Antonio, if you let me, okay, tell you the reason of your sadness, so I say that it is because of your merchandise, because of your business, right? So here Salarino also says that the reason of Antonio's sadness, which Antonio himself doesn't know, why is he sad? Clear? He says that he is sad because of his business, right? Okay. Now what did Antonio say? Right? He says, believe me, no. So he tells his two friends, Salarino and Salanio, right? Trust me, my dear friends, I am not sad because of my business. He says, right? It's not the reason that business is the reason behind, okay, of my sadness. He tells, I thank my fortune for it, and he says, I thank my luck and wealth for it. Right? For it refers to business. Right? So I thank my luck and okay, wealth, right, for the business that I am doing. He says, my ventures are not in one bottom trusted. And he says, my venture means my business is not dependent on, right, the single ship. He says, my business is not dependent on a single ship, right, or a ship alone. He says, okay, not to one place, and it is also not connected to one place, right? Which means that Antonio has not only one ship, okay, one ship, okay, that he has sent abroad. There are so many ships that he has sent to different places, different countries in the world, right, from where he purchases those things and sells in Venice, right? So see, okay, nor is my whole state means property, nor is my whole property upon the fortune of this present year, right? So nor upon the financial position, right, dependent on this present year, he says. Okay, so he is trying to say to his other two friends, saying that business is not the reason of my sadness, right? Okay, so he is very thankful to his luck and wealth, what he has, okay, earned so far, right? And his business is not dependent only on single ship, right? There are so many ships that he has sent abroad, right? He tells, okay, therefore my merchandise makes me not sad. So he said, therefore business is not the reason of my sadness, right? He tells. So my sadness is not connected, my melancholy is not, okay, connected with business, Antonio says to his two other friends, right? And what does Salarino say? Salarino says, why? Why means well, right? Is the Shakespearean style of saying well, right? Why? Then you are in love. So if the business is not the reason, then you might have been in love with somebody, right? Here, okay, Salarino says, because this is another reason why a person becomes very sad, right? So when the love affair, okay, doesn't run well, right? That's why Salarino says, right? Well, then you must be in love, right, with somebody, right? He tells. Then Antonio says, "Fie, fie." That means nonsense, nonsense, right? He says the reason of love, right, is not my sadness. He says. So I am not okay. I am not at all, okay, falling in love with anyone. He tells. Okay. So Antonio is a person who is away from love, right? He tells. Then Salarino says, not in love neither. So it is not love also that you are sad, he says. Okay, so it is not the business, right, that made you sad. So it is not the love that you made you sad, right? So what should we think then? Right, here Salarno says, then let us say you are sad because you are not merry. Then he says, so you may, okay, be sad because you are not happy. Merry means happy. So should we think this, that you may say that you are sad because you are not happy, right? And it were as easy for you to laugh and leap and you say you are merry, right? And right, so, and okay, it would be easy for you to say laugh and okay, leap means jump, right? And okay, and say that you are merry and say that you are happy, right? Because you are not sad, and the reason is okay, you're not sad. So what should we take then? So if business is not the reason of sadness, love is also not the reason of your sadness. Now should we believe that you are sad because you are not happy, right? Okay, or that you are okay happy so you are not sad, right? So what should we take then? He says, okay, then see, now by two-headed Janus, nature hath framed strange fellows in our time, right? And then Salerno goes back to Rome, right? And in Rome, there is a custom, right, that in every house, in front of the house, what do they do? They keep the two-headed god, right, who is named Janus, right? So Janus is a Roman god who has two heads, right? So one head, right, is happy, the other head is sad, which means that a human is made of happy and sad. So there is happiness in a man, there is sadness in a person. So it symbolizes this. That's why the Romans do put this, right, now two-headed god Janus in front of their house, right, indicating that, symbolizing that a man is made of happiness and sadness, right? So should we believe this, right? He tells, okay, so some that will evermore peep through their eyes, and some of them, right, will always look through their eyes and laugh like parrots at a bagpiper, right? And such man will look at the bagpiper, right, piping the bagpipe, right, and playing his musical instrument, right, and he would be laughing at it, seeing it, right? So see here, okay, so some people are such that they may laugh looking at the bagpiper, okay, here playing the musical instrument bagpipe, right? There's now some people are that, okay, let's see, and laugh like parrots at bagpiper, right? So that means a parrot is um, can be tamed, can be taught, right? And the parrot repeats what you have taught, right? So it would be same thing, right? Some people are says that they don't like okay bagpiper music, right? So when the bagpiper is played, right, by a bagpiper, right, he would look at it and then have a parrot like laugh, right? So see, it means nothing to them, okay, then see, and other of such vinegar aspect, and other people assess that who have the very sour expression on their face, right? Vinegar expression means sour okay expression on the face, right? That they will not show their teeth in way of a smile, that they don't laugh at all even if you try to throw a very funny joke at him, right? Some people are such, they don't laugh at all, they don't smile at all, right? So see, though Nestor swear the jest be laughable, though there was a person named Nestor, right? Now who he was? He was a very wise Greek general, right? During the time of the Trojan War, right? He was a wise Greek general, right? And he was such a man that even if the joke had been very laughable, very funny, right? Understand? Then only Nestor used to laugh, otherwise not, right? That means the very funniest joke used to make Nestor laugh, right? Simple jokes would not make him laugh at all. Such was the person, okay? So see, then see, so he told this, okay? Then Salanio says, here comes Bassanio, your most noble kinsman, right? So when this reason was going on to know that what was the reason of Antonius' sadness, right? Their reasonings get disturbed by the entrance of Bassanio, right? And Salanio sees Bassanio coming, okay? So he then says, here comes Bassanio, right? Your most kinsman. Kinsman means relative, right? He is so dear friend of Antonio that he is not only a friend of his, he is a relative, right, of his, right? Consider he is a relative of yours. So kinsman is called blood related, right? So Salanio says this, here comes Bassanio, right? Your dearest friend, your bosom friend, okay, who is a relative like, he says Graciano and Lorenzo, and he is followed by Graciano and Lorenzo, right? So after him, after Bassanio are coming Graciano and Lorenzo all together. Okay, so fare well. So fare well means goodbye to you, Antonio. Right? Fare well means goodbye. Right? Goodbye to you, Antonio. They say. Right? We leave you now with better company. So we are leaving you with a better company. Since your better friends are coming. Right? Bassanio is the bestest friend of yours. So what is our use? We are going. Right? Salarino and Salanio said. Okay, to Antonio. Salarino says, I would have stayed till I have made you merry. So I would means I wish to stay till I made you happy. Oh Antonio, right? Till I made you merry. Merry means happy, right? I wanted to stay here till I made you happy because we saw you very sad, right? And I would wish to stay here, right, till I made you happy, right? If worthier friends had not prevented me, if your best friends would not have interrupted me, right? Prevented me means here disturbed me, interrupted me, right? So I wish to stay here and make you happy, Antonio, right? But what to do? Your best friends are coming, right? So we are going, right? He says, okay. Then Antonio says, your word is very dear in my regard. So he says, your presence is very much in need of uh, um, my need. He says, no, right? So Antonio says, your word, you are here. That is enough for me. Okay, I take it, right? I take it means I think that your own business calls on you. So here Antonio assumes, right? Antonio supposes, right, that you must have your own business to do. That's why you want to take leave, right? Okay, and you embrace the occasion to depart, and that's why you are giving a false reason, right, to go from here, right? So Antonio says that, right, my dear friends, right, Salarino and Salanio, okay, your word is right now very much needed to me, right? You are here, that is enough for me. But I think that you are taking leave, right, for your own business, for your own purpose, for your own work, right? Just giving a reason, right, now that my dearest friends are coming, right? Here Antonio said. Okay, so enter Bassanio, Lorenzo, and Graciano. Till then, the three friends made their entry, right? Antonio, right? Salarino and Salanio were there. The two friends, Salarino and Salanio, they prepared to take leave, right? Stating a reason. Now they Antonio's okay, best friends are coming. So what is their use? Okay, we are going, right? Right? But before they left, Bassanio, Lorenzo, and Graciano arrived. Now altogether there are six friends, right? Together. Okay. Now what happens? What do they discuss? Right. So I hope okay till thought you have understood. Okay, so keep marking whatever difficulties you had and whatever difficult words I made into okay simple meanings. Jot them down immediately in your okay textbook with your pencil, so that when you sit to revise, right, the lines again, right, you may be able to understand. Okay, because in exam any portion, right, any okay lines would be asked for you to test, right? That's why be very alert, be very careful, and try to understand each of the line what is said here. Okay, and forget not regarding the characters. Okay, as I already alerted you that the right spelling of the characters must be given in your answers, right? Okay, so till thought you revise. Okay, and what happens more we'll again see in our next online class. Thank you so much.